The massive viewing screen in the Galactic Council chamber displayed a small blue planet. Ambassador Cathax stood before the council, his forearms folded across his chest. His purple skin glowed slightly in the dim light. "We have discovered another primitive species," Cathax announced. "They call themselves humans." The 13 council members leaned forward in their seats. Each represented a different advanced alien race that ruled this part of the galaxy. They had conquered many worlds before, and this seemed like another, easy addition to their empire. "Show us what you found," commanded High Chancellor Zorak, his tentacles waving slowly. Cathax touched a control panel. The screen filled with images of human cities, vehicles, and people going about their daily lives. The aliens watched cars moving on highways, planes flying through the sky, and humans walking on busy streets. "Their technology is basic," Cathax explained. "They still use chemical rockets for space travel. Their weapons are projectile-based. They haven't even mastered faster-than-light travel." The council members made sounds of amusement. To them, humans looked weak and helpless. "What about their physical abilities?" asked Council Member Vexnar, her scales shifting to a darker blue. "Limited," Cathax replied. "They have only 2 arms, no natural armor, no claws or fangs. They can't even breathe underwater or survive in low-oxygen environments." The council laughed. This would be the easiest conquest yet. "I recommend we classify them as Class 3 prey species," Cathax said. "Standard subjugation protocols should work perfectly." The council voted unanimously. Humans were officially labeled as prey. Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Jake Murphy sat in the control room of the USS Horizon, a secret military space station orbiting beyond the moon. His crew monitored deep space for any unusual activity. "Commander, we're picking up something strange," said Lieutenant Maria Santos, staring at her screen. "Multiple objects approaching Earth's outer orbit." Jake walked over to her station. "What kind of objects?" "They're not asteroids or comets," Maria replied. "They're moving in formation and they're slowing down." Jake felt his heart rate increase. "Show me." The main screen displayed several large shapes moving toward Earth. They were clearly artificial, smooth, metallic, and purposeful in their approach. "Those are ships," Jake said quietly. "Alien ships." The crew fell silent. This was the moment they had trained for but hoped would never come. "Alert Earth Command," Jake ordered. "Code Red. We have visitors." Back at the Galactic Council, Cathax prepared his invasion fleet. 50 warships, each carrying thousands of soldiers and advanced weapons. More than enough to subdue a primitive planet. "The humans won't know what hit them," Cathax told his second-in-command, Officer Draktal. "We'll demand their surrender, take their resources, and add their planet to our collection." "What if they resist?" Draktal asked. Cathax's mandibles clicked in amusement. "With what? Their primitive firearms? Their slow aircraft? We've conquered species far more advanced than these humans." The invasion fleet entered Earth's solar system. They passed Jupiter, then Mars, moving steadily toward the blue planet. The aliens were confident, relaxed, already planning how they would divide Earth's resources. On Earth, Jake Murphy coordinated with military leaders worldwide. President Laura Bennett called an emergency meeting at the United Nations. Scientists, generals, and world leaders gathered to discuss humanity's response. "We can't match their technology," General Marcus Cooper admitted, "but we have advantages they don't know about." "Like what?" President Bennett asked. "Like the fact that we've been preparing for this day for decades," Cooper replied. "We've studied every signal, every piece of debris that's fallen to Earth. We're not as helpless as they think." As the alien fleet approached, humanity prepared for first contact. But unlike what the Galactic Council expected, humans weren't planning to surrender. They were planning to fight. The Council had made a critical error. They judged humans by their technology and physical appearance. They didn't understand human determination, creativity, or capacity for violence. They didn't know that humans had survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. Most importantly, they didn't know that humans had been watching the stars, waiting, preparing. And now, the hunters were about to become the hunted. The alien ships hung in Earth's orbit like metal clouds. People around the world looked up at the sky, some in fear, others in wonder. News channels showed nothing but images of the massive vessels. Ambassador Kathax prepared for his meeting with Earth's leaders. He adjusted his ceremonial robes and checked his translator device. Everything had to be perfect for the formal surrender ceremony. Remember, he told his guards, these humans are primitive. Show them our strength, but don't waste energy fighting. They'll submit quickly. At the United Nations headquarters in New York, President Laura Bennett waited in the assembly hall. World leaders sat quietly, their faces tense. General Marcus Cooper stood beside her, whispering last-minute strategies. Keep them talking, Cooper said. Buy us time. The doors opened. Ambassador Kathax entered with 12 guards. Each alien stood over 8 feet tall, covered in armor that hummed with energy. The humans looked small in comparison. Greetings, humans, Kathax said, his translator turning his clicks and whistles into English. I am Ambassador Kathax of the Galactic Council. We come to welcome you into our empire. President Bennett stood up. Welcome to Earth, Ambassador. We're honored by your visit. Kathax was surprised by her calm demeanor. Most species showed fear at this point. Let me explain how this works, Kathax continued. Your planet now belongs to the Galactic Council. You will provide us with resources, metals, water, and workers. In return, we will protect you from other threats. The room stayed silent. Kathax expected panic, crying, maybe begging. Instead, the humans just watched him with steady eyes. We have some questions, President Bennett said. About your technology, your council, your other member species. Kathax's mandibles twitched in confusion. Questions? This is not a negotiation. This is a notification of your new status. Dr. Eric Thompson, Earth's lead xenobiologist, stepped forward. He had been studying the aliens since they arrived, using hidden scanners and cameras. We're curious about your shield technology, Thompson said. It seems to operate on a frequency we've never seen before. Kathax laughed. Of course you haven't seen it. Your science is centuries behind ours. Thompson nodded, making notes on his tablet. What Kathax didn't know was that every word, every movement was being analyzed by Earth's best scientists and military strategists. General Cooper watched the aliens carefully. He noticed how they moved, where their armor had gaps, how their weapons worked. Every detail was important. Your weapons, Cooper asked. They appear to be energy-based. How do they compare to our projectile weapons? Kathax's chest swelled with pride. Your bullets are useless against our shields. Our plasma weapons can vaporize your tanks in seconds. The aliens were giving away valuable information without realizing it. They were so confident in their superiority that they didn't see the trap. President Bennett continued the conversation. How many species are in your council? 13 advanced races, Kathax replied. We've conquered over 100 primitive worlds like yours. And what happens to species that resist, she asked. Kathax's 4 eyes narrowed. No one resists for long. Those who try are made examples of. Their cities burn, their people become slaves. The threat hung in the air. But instead of fear, Kathax saw something else in the human's eyes. Something he couldn't quite understand. Dr. Thompson stepped closer to one of the alien guards, pretending to admire the armor. His hidden scanner collected data on the metal composition, energy signatures, and weak points. Enough questions, Kathax declared. You have 1 Earth day to accept our terms. Surrender peacefully or face destruction. As the aliens left, General Cooper turned to President Bennett. They're overconfident. They've told us everything we need to know. Dr. Thompson agreed. Their technology is advanced but not invincible. I found several vulnerabilities in their systems. President Bennett looked at the world leaders around her. Then we proceed with the plan. Let them think we're weak. Let them believe we're scared. Unknown. To the aliens, Earth's military forces were already moving. Hidden bases activated. Secret weapons came online. Humanity's greatest minds worked together, finding ways to turn the aliens' arrogance against them. The Galactic Council thought they were dealing with prey. They were about to learn why humans were the dominant species on a planet full of predators. Deep beneath the Nevada desert, in a facility that didn't exist on any map, Captain Amy Rodriguez stood before a wall of weapons. These weren't ordinary guns or missiles. They were humanity's secret. Weapons built from alien technology recovered over decades. Project Chimera is ready, Rodriguez told General Cooper through a secure video link. We've tested every system. The plasma rifles work perfectly. Cooper nodded from his command center. Good. Deploy them to all major cities. Keep them hidden until my signal. Around the world, similar secret bases came to life. In Russia, China, Britain, and India, special forces units received weapons that officially didn't exist. Weapons that could pierce alien shields. Weapons that humans weren't supposed to have. Dr. Eric Thompson worked in his laboratory, surrounded by screens showing alien technology scans. His team had cracked the code of the alien shield frequency. It's beautiful, Thompson said to his assistant, Dr. Sarah Kim. Their shields pulse at regular intervals. There's a gap every 3.7 seconds that lasts for 0.2 seconds. That's not much time, Sarah replied. It's enough, Thompson smiled. We've programmed our new weapons to fire during those gaps. Above Earth, the alien occupation forces began their deployment. Commander Vrex, leader of the ground troops, watched from his command ship as dropships headed toward major cities. This will be the easiest conquest in Council history, Vrex told his officers. These humans have no space fleet, no energy weapons, no shield technology. They're practically defenseless. His second-in-command, Officer Krill, pointed at a screen. Sir, I'm detecting unusual energy readings from several locations on the surface. Vrex waved a dismissive tentacle. Probably they're primitive power plants. Nothing to worry about. In New York City, alien dropships landed in Central Park. Soldiers marched out expecting terrified humans to run away. Instead, they found the park empty. The streets were quiet. Too quiet. Captain Rodriguez watched from a hidden position as the aliens spread out. She held one of the new plasma rifles, feeling its weight. Beside her, 50 soldiers waited for the signal. Remember, she whispered to her team, wait for the shield gap. Make every shot count. In Washington, D.C., President Bennett met with her cabinet in a bunker beneath the White House. Screens showed alien forces landing in cities worldwide. Are we ready? She asked General Cooper. All units are in position, Cooper confirmed. Project Chimera weapons are distributed. Our pilots are in the prototype fighters. Bennett took a deep breath. Then we wait for them to get comfortable. Let them think they've won. The aliens continued their deployment, setting up command posts and patrol routes. They broadcasted messages demanding surrender, promising mercy for those who complied. Cuthax watched from orbit, pleased with the operation's progress. You see, he told the Council via transmission, the humans offer no resistance. They're paralyzed with fear. But Cuthax was wrong. In hidden bunkers and secret bases, humanity prepared for war. Engineers made final adjustments to weapons. Pilots ran system checks on fighters built with reverse-engineered alien technology. Soldiers loaded magazines with ammunition designed to penetrate alien armor. Dr. Thompson sent his findings to military commanders worldwide. Their armor has weak points at the joints. Their vehicles have exhaust ports that aren't shielded. Their communications use a frequency we can jam. Rodriguez received the data on her tactical display. She shared it with her team, pointing out target areas on holographic models of alien soldiers. They think we're primitive, she told her soldiers. They think we're helpless. They don't know we've been preparing for this day for 50 years. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They judged humanity by what they could see, the public technology, the visible military forces. They didn't know about the secret projects, the hidden bases, the classified research. They didn't know that every piece of alien technology that had ever crashed on Earth had been studied, analyzed, and reverse-engineered. They didn't know that. Humanity had been building weapons specifically designed to fight them. As night fell across Earth, the aliens settled into their positions, confident in their superiority. They didn't notice the hidden eyes watching them. They didn't detect the weapons powering up in secret locations. The trap was set. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why they were the apex predators of their world. The signal came at midnight. 3 simple words from General Cooper. Light them up. Captain Rodriguez squeezed the trigger of her plasma rifle. The weapon hummed, then fired a brilliant blue beam that hit an alien soldier square in the chest. The alien's shield flickered and failed. The soldier fell, smoke rising from the hole in his armor. Around the world, the same scene played out. In London, Tokyo, Moscow, and Sydney, hidden human forces attacked simultaneously. The aliens, caught completely off guard, scrambled to respond. Commander Jake Murphy led the space assault from the USS Horizon. All fighters, launch now, he ordered. 20 sleek fighters shot out from hidden moon bases. These weren't the slow, clumsy ships the aliens expected. These fighters used stolen alien technology, modified and improved by human engineers. Lieutenant Sam Harris piloted one of the fighters. He targeted an alien patrol ship and fired. The modified missiles punched through the alien shields like they weren't there. Their shields are down, Harris reported. We can hit them. In Chicago, Harris's brother Tom led a ground assault team. They moved through the streets like shadows using tactics the aliens had never encountered. Hit and run, ambush, sabotage. Remember, Tom told his squad, they're stronger than us, but we're smarter. Use the buildings. Use the sewers. Never fight them in the open. The aliens tried to adapt, but human tactics confused them. The Council forces were used to enemies who fought in straight lines, who met them head-on. Humans fought dirty. They used traps, distractions, and psychological warfare. In New York, Rodriguez's team had taken down an entire alien patrol. She picked up one of their communication devices and spoke into it, using phrases Dr. Thompson had decoded. Patrol 7. Reporting. All clear. She lied in the alien language. The aliens believed her, sending more troops into her ambush. Above Earth, Ambassador Cathax watched in disbelief as reports flooded in. This is impossible, he shouted. They're primitives. They can't have these weapons. But they did. And worse for the aliens, humans were using them effectively. Dr. Thompson coordinated electronic warfare from his lab. Jamming their communications. Now, he announced. His team sent signals that confused alien systems, making their weapons malfunction and their ships lose navigation. In Moscow, Russian forces used the winter weather to their advantage. They lured alien troops onto frozen lakes, then broke the ice with explosives. The heavily armored aliens sank quickly. President Bennett watched the battle from her command center. Status report, she demanded. We're winning, General Cooper said, barely believing his own words. The aliens are in full retreat in most cities. The key to human success wasn't just the weapons, it was how they used them. Humans understood guerrilla warfare. They knew how to use their environment. They fought with a creativity and viciousness that shocked the aliens. In Tokyo, civilians joined the fight. Office workers threw homemade bombs from windows. Shop owners set traps in their stores. Even children helped by spreading false information to confuse alien patrols. Commander Vrex tried to rally his forces. Form defensive positions, he ordered. Use heavy weapons. But human snipers picked off his officers. Hackers disrupted his communications. Every move he made, humans countered with something unexpected. Lieutenant Harris led his fighter squadron in a daring attack on the alien command ship. Focus fire on their engine ports, he ordered. Thompson says they're vulnerable. There, the fighters swooped in, dodging alien defense fire. Their missiles found their targets. The massive command ship shuddered, then began to list to one side. On the ground, Tom Harris and his team captured an alien communication center. They used it to broadcast a message to all human forces. The aliens are breaking! Push harder! Dawn, the tide had turned completely. Alien forces retreated to their ships. Some surrendered, throwing down their weapons and begging for mercy. Cathax stared at his battle displays, trying to understand what had happened. We classified them as prey, he muttered. How could prey do this? The answer was simple. The Council had made a fundamental error. They saw human cities and assumed humans were civilized and soft. They didn't realize that civilization was just a thin veneer over something much more dangerous. Humans weren't prey. They were predators who had learned to live together. And now, threatened by an outside force, they had remembered what they truly were. Ambassador Cathax sat in his command chair, reading battle reports with growing horror. His 4 hands shook as he scrolled through images of defeated alien troops and destroyed ships. "This can't be right," he muttered. "There must be some mistake." But there was no mistake. The numbers didn't lie. In just 12 hours of fighting, humans had destroyed 30% of his invasion force. More alien soldiers had died in one night than in the last 10 planetary conquests combined. On Earth, Dr. Helen Martinez examined a captured alien soldier in her medical lab. The creature was twice her size, with thick, armor-like skin and 4 muscular arms. By all logic, it should have been unstoppable. "Fascinating," she said to her assistant, Dr. Paul Chen. "Look at these scans. Their bodies are incredibly strong, but their nervous system is simple. They react slowly to unexpected stimuli." Paul nodded. "And their psychology?" "Even more interesting," Helen replied. "They have no fear response, no adrenaline equivalent. They never evolved as prey, so they never developed the instincts that make humans so dangerous when threatened." In the alien medical bay, wounded soldiers told stories that sounded impossible. Humans who kept fighting after being shot. Humans who used their own bodies as weapons. Humans who seemed to predict attacks before they happened. Officer Draktal reported to Cathax. "Sir, we've analyzed the combat data. The humans, they don't fight like any species we've encountered." "Explain," Cathax demanded. "They use deception constantly. They attack from unexpected angles. They sacrifice themselves to save others. And when wounded, they become more dangerous, not less." Cathax pulled up the original species assessment. "We classified them as prey based on their physical limitations, but we didn't consider their behavior patterns." Dr. Martinez continued her research, making a breakthrough discovery. "Paul, look at this. The aliens evolved on a planet with no predators. They developed intelligence and technology without ever needing to fight for survival. So they never developed the instincts we have?" Paul asked. "Exactly. Humans evolved surrounded by predators. We had to be smart, quick, and ruthless just to survive. We can process threats faster, adapt quicker, and endure more pain than they can imagine." The Galactic Council convened an emergency meeting. High Chancellor Zorak demanded answers from Cathax. "You told us they were primitives." Zorak's tentacles writhed in anger. "You said they would surrender immediately." Cathax displayed his findings. "We misjudged them completely. Their technology is less advanced, yes, but their minds, their psychology, they're natural warriors. They've been fighting for survival for millions of years." Council member Vexnar studied the combat footage. "Look how they move, how they think. They're not acting like prey. They're hunting us." On Earth, President Bennett received reports from Dr. Martinez. "We understand them now," Bennett told her advisors. "They're bullies, who've never faced real resistance. They conquered peaceful species who didn't know how to fight back." General Cooper added, "They have superior technology, but they don't know how to use it effectively. They fight like administrators, not soldiers." The revelation spread through human ranks. Soldiers realized they weren't facing invincible enemies, just overconfident ones. The aliens bled. They felt pain. They could be beaten. In space, Jake Murphy led another attack on the alien fleet. "They're panicking," he reported. "They don't know how to handle aggressive tactics." Cathax watched his forces crumble. For the first time in Council history, a prey species was winning. He began to understand the truth. Humans weren't prey at all. They were apex predators who had built cities instead of hunting grounds. "We've made a terrible mistake," Cathax told the Council. "Humans aren't just dangerous. They might be the most dangerous species we've ever encountered." The Council members fell silent. They had ruled the galaxy for millennia by intimidating weaker species. Now they faced something they didn't understand. A species that got stronger when threatened, smarter when challenged, and more unified when attacked. Dr. Martinez sent her final report to President Bennett. The aliens evolved through cooperation. Humans evolved through competition. They build empires. We build warriors. They never stood a chance. The hunters had become the hunted. And the galaxy would never be the same. General Cooper stood in the war room surrounded by screens showing the alien mothership. "It's time for Operation Phoenix," he announced. "We take their command ship." Captain Danny Walsh stepped forward. "My team is ready, sir. We've studied every inch of that ship from our scans." The plan was bold, maybe even crazy. Use captured alien shuttles to board the mothership. Take control of their main systems. Turn their own weapons against them. "You have 6 hours," Cooper said. "After that, we launch our full assault whether you've succeeded or not." Walsh nodded. "We won't let you down." In space, 3 alien shuttles approached the mothership. Inside each one, human soldiers waited nervously. They wore captured alien armor, modified to fit human bodies. "Remember," Walsh told his team, "we need to reach the command center before they realize we're not their returning troops." The shuttles docked. Walsh's heart pounded as the airlock opened. 2 alien guards stood waiting. "Report," one guard demanded in their clicking language. Walsh responded using phrases Dr. Thompson had taught them. "Prisoners for processing. High-value targets." The guards waved them through. It worked. The humans moved quickly through the ship's corridors. They had memorized the layout from captured data. Left turn, right turn, straight ahead. Every step brought them closer to the command center. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Intruders on Deck 7, a voice announced. "They found us," Walsh muttered. "Plan B, fight our way through." The humans dropped their disguises and opened fire. Alien crew members fell, surprised by the attack from within their own ship. In the Chati-Tir Galactic Council chamber, panic spread as they watched the invasion of their flagship. "Impossible," Zorak shouted. "How did they get aboard?" Kuthax realized the truth. "They used our own tactics against us. They deceived us, just as we planned to deceive them." Walsh's team fought through corridor after corridor. The aliens were strong, but the narrow passages neutralized their size advantage. The humans used grenades, flashbangs, and quick tactical movements. "Command center ahead," Walsh called out. "Breach on my mark." They blasted through the doors. The alien bridge crew turned in shock. Walsh's team moved with practiced precision, taking control of key stations. "We have the ship," Walsh reported to Earth. "Repeat, we have control of their mothership, General." Cooper smiled for the first time in days. "Excellent work, Captain. Now let's show them what human engineering can do." On Earth, Dr. Thompson's team had been preparing for this moment. They transmitted new programming codes to the captured ship. Alien weapon systems came online, but now they targeted other council ships. "Fire," Cooper ordered. The mothership's massive guns turned on its own fleet. Alien vessels exploded in brilliant flashes. The council forces fell into chaos, unable to comprehend why their flagship was attacking them. Kuthax watched in horror as his invasion fleet crumbled. "Call for retreat," he ordered. "All ships retreat immediately." But it was too late. Human fighters swarmed the confused alien ships. Earth's hidden missile bases launched their payloads. The sky lit up with explosions. In the captured mothership, Walsh discovered something incredible. "General, you need to see this. Their navigation database shows routes to every council world." Cooper understood immediately. "They just gave us a map to their entire empire." President Bennett addressed the world. "Today, we didn't just defend Earth. We showed the galaxy that humanity will not be conquered. We will not be enslaved. We will not surrender." The remaining alien ships fled, carrying news of their defeat back to the council. For the first time in their history, they had lost. Not to another advanced civilization, but to a species they had dismissed as primitive. Walsh stood on the bridge of the captured mothership, now renamed the USS Victory. Sir, we're detecting more alien ships approaching, but they're sending friendship signals. Other species, long oppressed by the Council, had heard about humanity's victory. They wanted to join the fight against their former masters. The tide had turned. Humanity had not only survived first contact but had emerged as a major galactic power. The hunters had indeed become the hunted. Commander Kate Johnson sat in the captain's chair of the captured alien warship, now called USS Vengeance. Around her, human crew members operated alien controls with growing confidence. All systems ready, her first officer reported. The fleet awaits your command. Behind the Vengeance, 20 more captured alien ships formed up. Each had human crews trained in alien technology. Earth wasn't just defending anymore. They were taking the fight to the enemy. President Bennett's voice came through the communication system. Commander Johnson, you are cleared to begin operation. Reversal. Show the Council what happens when they threaten Earth. Understood, Madam President, Johnson replied. All ships prepare for jump. The human fleet activated the alien faster-than-light drives. Space twisted around them, and suddenly they were light years from Earth, approaching the nearest Council outpost. On the Council space station, Administrator Veltok received panicked reports. Human ships approaching. They're using our own vessels. Impossible, Veltok said. Humans can't operate our technology. He was wrong. Humans had spent weeks studying every system, every weapon, every defense. They understood the alien technology better than some Council members. Fire main weapons. Johnson ordered. The human fleet unleashed devastating firepower on the station's shields. The aliens scrambled to respond, but their tactics were predictable. Humans had studied their battle doctrines and knew exactly how they would react. Back on Earth, General Cooper monitored the battle. They're doing it, he told President Bennett. They're actually winning offensive battles. Dr. Thompson's team provided real-time analysis. The aliens are panicking. They've never faced an enemy that attacks their territory. They don't know how to handle aggression. The space station's shields failed. Johnson sent a message to the station. Surrender now, and we'll show mercy. Resist and face the consequences. Administrator Veltok had no choice. For the first time in Council history, a member species surrendered to a lesser race. News of the human victory spread across the galaxy. On dozens of worlds, oppressed species began to rise up. They had seen that the Council could be beaten. Ambassador Keithax returned to the Council chamber in disgrace. We must sue for peace, he told the other members. The humans grow stronger every day. Other species are joining them. Never, Zorak roared. We are the Galactic Council. We do not surrender to primitives. But even as he spoke, more reports arrived. Human fleets appeared at multiple Council outposts. Each attack was swift, precise, and devastating. The humans had learned to use Council technology, but they fought with human tactics. Commander Johnson led her fleet deeper into Council space. At each conquered outpost, they freed enslaved species and recruited volunteers. The human fleet grew larger with every victory. On a small mining world, they liberated the Cathari, a reptilian species that had been enslaved for centuries. The Cathari leader, Skatal, pledged his people's support. You have shown us that freedom is possible. We will fight alongside you. Similar scenes played out across the galaxy. The Vordak, the Quilar, the Zenthi, all joined the human alliance. Each species brought their own ships, weapons, and knowledge. The Council made a critical error, Dr. Martinez explained to President Bennett. They ruled through fear alone. They never built loyalty. Now that someone has shown their weakness, their empire is collapsing. Keithax watched his worst nightmares unfold. The humans weren't just winning battles. They were starting a revolution. Every world they liberated joined their cause. Every victory inspired more resistance. We created our own doom, Keithax realized. By threatening Earth, we united them. By attacking them, we trained them. By underestimating them, we armed them. Commander Johnson stood on the bridge of the Vengeance. looking at star charts showing their next targets. Set course for the Vega outpost, she ordered. It's time to show the Council that humanity protects its friends. The human-led coalition fleet jumped to their next target. Behind them, freed worlds celebrated. Ahead of them, Council forces trembled. The prey had become predators. The hunted had become hunters. And the galaxy would never be the same. The Galactic Council chamber looked different now. Half the seats were empty, their former occupants either defeated or fled. High Chancellor Zorak slumped in his chair, his tentacles drooping in defeat. Ambassador Cathax entered the chamber, looking tired and beaten. The humans have agreed to peace talks, he announced. They're sending representatives. We have no choice, Zorak admitted. Our empire is crumbling. 3 more systems joined the human alliance yesterday. The doors opened again. President Laura Bennett walked in, flanked by General Cooper and Admiral Jake Murphy, humanity's first Galactic Admiral. Behind them came representatives from the liberated species. Members of the Council, Bennett began, we're here to discuss the future of this galaxy. Zorak straightened in his chair. What are your terms? First, all enslaved species are to be freed immediately, Bennett stated. Second, the Council will recognize Earth and our allies as equals, not subjects. Third, you will share your technology freely with all member worlds. The remaining Council members muttered in shock. No one had ever made demands of them before. And if we refuse? Zorak asked. Admiral Murphy stepped forward. Then we continue our advance. We've already taken half your territory. Your choice. Cathax knew they were beaten. We accept your terms, he said quietly. Over the next months, the galaxy transformed. The Galactic Council became the Galactic Alliance, with humans holding key leadership positions. Former slave worlds flourished with freedom and shared technology. Admiral Murphy established the Alliance Defense Force, combining human tactics with alien technology. Different species worked together, each contributing their strengths. Dr. Thompson led the scientific exchange program, ensuring all worlds benefited from shared knowledge. No more keeping species primitive, he declared. We rise together. Cathax found himself working closely with humans, amazed at their capacity for both war and peace. You confused us, he told President Bennett one day. You can be incredibly violent, yet also incredibly compassionate. Bennett smiled. That's what makes us human. We fight fiercely to protect what we love, but we prefer peace when possible. The galaxy's database was updated. The entry for humans now read, Species 471b Humans. Classification Class 1 Apex Predator. Extreme combat capabilities. Approach with respect, not aggression. Valuable allies, dangerous enemies. Commander Kate Johnson became the first human ambassador to the Vordak homeworld. Captain Rodriguez led training programs for allied forces. Dr. Martinez established medical exchange programs between species. 1 year after first contact, the Galactic Alliance held its first council meeting. Representatives from 50 worlds sat as equals. Humans once dismissed as prey, now sat at the head of the table. We've learned an important lesson, Zorak admitted in his opening speech. Never judge a species by appearance or technology alone. The humans taught us that true strength comes from within. Admiral Murphy addressed the assembly. We didn't want war. We didn't seek to conquer. But when threatened, we showed what humanity is capable of. Now we offer friendship to all who want peace. Across the galaxy, the story of humanity spread. How they had faced impossible odds and won. How they had turned enemies into allies. How they had brought freedom to oppressed worlds. Young aliens grew up hearing tales of human courage and cleverness. Military academies studied human tactics. Scientists marveled at human adaptability. In a quiet moment, Cathax asked Murphy, "How did you do it? How did you defeat us so completely?" Murphy thought for a moment. We've been fighting for survival since we climbed down from the trees. Every predator on Earth taught us to be smarter, faster, tougher. You thought that made us prey. Instead, it made us the most dangerous species in the galaxy. The Council's greatest mistake had become the galaxy's greatest blessing. By attacking Earth, they had awakened a sleeping giant. By threatening humanity, they had united it. By underestimating humans, they had created their own downfall. Now, under human leadership, the galaxy entered a new age of cooperation and progress. The hunters had become protectors, the warriors had become peacemakers, and everyone knew one truth: never, ever threaten the humans.